Today on Discover Wisconsin, we're dipping our toes in the water and exploring the sandy beaches, the majestic lighthouses, and
this should be on everyone's bucket list to come and see.
I know.
We're discovering Wisconsin's northern shore, Lake Superior.
Hello and welcome to Discover Wisconsin.
The enchantment never ends. For every season there's another reason for you to come discover Wisconsin.
Are you looking for a waterfront vacation? Maybe a sunny island getaway? Well, look no further, because Lake Superior has you covered.
With more surface area than any other freshwater lake in the world, Lake Superior also takes the title of largest of the 5 Great Lakes. Our tour begins on the western tip of the lake, in Superior, one of the busiest harbors on the Great Lakes.
This is Wisconsin Point, one of the most beautiful places in all of Superior. What we're looking at now is the port of entry for the Port of Superior. And behind us, there's 3 miles of pristine beach. The property is considered an important bird area and a watchable wildlife area by the Wisconsin DNR.
It's the second largest sandbar in the United States. It stretches all the way across from Duluth, Minnesota to Superior, Wisconsin. So it is a great place.
From Wisconsin Point, continue along the lake and discover more of Superior by heading down the Osagie Waterfront Trail.
So it is a multi-use trail. In the summertime, it's hikers, bikers, horses, ATVs, and then of course in the wintertime, snowmobiles and ATVs as well. So it's a great way to really see Lake Superior from many different facets. What's wonderful about it is you're up close to the water.
This view is amazing.
It is amazing.
Looking for more trails? How about one on the lake? Grab your paddle, let's hit the Lake Superior Water Trail.
There are many different things that you'll experience along the water trail. For starters, let's talk about the diversity of the shoreline. Everything from very high, steep clay bluffs to urban waterfronts, beautiful expanses of sand beaches, and little hidden coves and bays. The water trail itself really is defined by the land features that are found along that route. And these are the access points, trailheads, picnic areas, camping sites.
The east end of the water trail is Saxon Harbor, where you'll find great camping, a sandy beach, and marina.
Coastal management has helped us out with the expansion of the harbor, doubled the size of our harbor, and of course modernized half of it with water and electric hookups and all the amenities that people really appreciate these days.
Another full-service marina on the water trail is in the quaint harbor town of Cornucopia. We hopped in there to do some stand-up paddleboarding.
What do you get from people that are visiting this area for the first time, getting out on the water, seeing things like this?
Usually it's a surprise. They were amazed that this was here. They never knew it. And I love coming out here on a paddleboard because you can see so much better into the water, and your vantage point being up higher is just a great way to see it.
Greg, I don't think it gets any prettier than it does right here.
Yeah, this is a beautiful spot. This is a Romans Point Arch. This is one of the most beautiful spots, I think, on the South Shore.
After a few hours of exploring, we decided to have some fun and test out our balancing skills.
Oh yeah! There you go, you got it. Woo!
And of course, we couldn't resist jumping in. Want to try stand-up paddleboarding and explore the Lake Superior Water Trail? Just head to discoverwisconsin.com and choose Lake Superior as your destination to find out where to start. Up next,
this is an unbelievable view.
We're exploring everything the Apostle Islands has to offer. We're back, exploring more of Wisconsin's northern shore on Discover Wisconsin. You can't get any further north in Wisconsin than the Apostle Islands. 21 islands and 12 miles of mainland make up the Apostle Islands National Lakeshore.
This is one of the wildest areas in the Great Lakes. And about 80% of the park's land base is actually designated federal wilderness area.
Visitors can find their solitude and seclusion while hiking and camping on the Apostle Islands. You can pitch a tent on 19 of the islands with over 60 available campsites.
Approximately 10 years ago, Stockton Island had the largest concentration of American black bears of anywhere in the United States.
Don't worry, there's plenty of room for everyone, with over 10,000 acres on Stockton Island, which also boasts 23 miles of shoreline.
A number of the sites, it's possible to pull up your small boat, your kayak, your canoe, right up in front of your campsite. So it's wonderful in that regard.
You know, we've got fabulous beaches, but we also have these incredible erosional features where we have tremendous sandstone cliffs on a number of the islands. And in a few cases, the sandstone gets hollowed out in these spectacular caves and arches.
I am really lucky today. I am back with one of my favorite kayak guides of all time, Grant Herman from Living Adventure. And what do you have planned for us today?
Well, we're out here at Sand Island, and we're going to be looking at all the Sand Island sea caves here on Swallow Point. And they're one of 3 main sets of sea caves in the park, but these are sort of my favorite.
Excellent.
All right, Emma, you got to check this one out, because almost right away we're going to get to this incredible cave that has 2 ceilings in it.
I love this.
Isn't this incredible?
This should be on everyone's bucket list to come and see.
Yeah.
You don't get it until you're here.
I know.
Grant and I made our way through several cave areas, each one more breathtaking than the last.
Those are the sand lines, you know, on the bottom of a beach like 1.2 billion years ago.
Oh, wow. So this is another reason why you go with a guide.
Safety is, of course, critical, but assuming everything's going well, then you get the stories of the place.
And speaking of safety, wave action changes quickly on the lake, so always monitor the weather and wind forecast.
Even more than the temperature, the air temperature, the wind is really the thing. Through the coastal management program in Wisconsin, they've put a real-time wave monitoring device out by the mainland sea caves.
You can visit our website to learn more about the partners of this project and find helpful links to make your trip on Lake Superior a safe one. More island adventures and stories await you at 8 lighthouses on the Apostle Islands. That's more than any other place in the National Park Service.
June, July, August, and early September, we generally have park rangers at the Raspberry Island Lighthouse, so you can get tours there. But we also use volunteer lighthouse keepers at Sand Island, Devil's Island, and Michigan Island. Since the islands are fairly flat, it's hard to get an all-encompassing view unless you're able to get up into places like the lighthouse towers.
That's the Porcupine Mountains in the state of Michigan, 40 miles that way. So you're seeing 75 miles from side to side today.
Wow.
8 islands, and making this officially a 3-state day.
That's unbelievable.
Isn't that great?
Ranger Jim gave me a tour to see what it was like to live at Raspberry Island Light Station back in the early 20th century, and had some amazing stories to tell.
So in 1947, they closed the building, shut the building down. Second assistant took that clock with him. Then it was about 8 to 10 years ago, his grandson calls the park on his own and gives us the clock back. An act of extraordinary generosity. And it took between then 1947 to 2007 for that clock to finally make it home. And the old guy still works.
It's a great sound.
Yeah, it's a great old clock.
See more photos and maps of the lighthouses on the Apostle Islands by visiting discoverwisconsin.com and choosing Lake Superior as your destination. Coming up, we're heading to another island, and then the first tribal national park in the U.S. Welcome back to our tour of Lake Superior on Discover Wisconsin. You can explore the coast on the Lake Superior Scenic Byway, which stretches 70 miles along the south shore of the Bayfield Peninsula, and through several harbor towns, including Bayfield. You'll find the harbor right in downtown Bayfield, as well as one-of-a-kind shopping, dining, and lodging.
Well, Bayfield is a very green community, and we live and breathe the love we have for the natural setting we have here. We kind of say Bayfield is where the water meets the soul.
With more certified Wisconsin Department of Tourism travel green businesses than any other community in the state, we had to check them out.
We're an 8-room bed and breakfast inn, consisting of 5 rooms in the historic main house. And then in 2003, we built the garden house, which adds an additional 3 rooms. During the course of that evolution of the garden house, we began a very specific focus on being an eco-friendly inn.
From carefully picked features and stainless steel water bottles, to the locally sourced food used to prepare breakfast, you can see and feel a refreshing difference.
It's rare that we don't see people leaving so much more relaxed and so much more connected to their own sense of place.
We have, in this community, a big advantage in that we live on one of the most gorgeous lakes in the world, and more people here sort of understand the need for protecting the environment.
You can see how special the natural environment is reflected in the work of area artisans. We hopped on the ferry to Madeline Island, which is the largest and only developed island of the Apostles, to meet an artist who gets her inspiration from the lake.
Holly, tell me how you get creative ideas from being here on Madeline Island in beautiful Lake Superior.
I come here. I just go to the rocks and I look and I absorb the energy there. The lake is so clear and so powerful and so beautiful that I feel sometimes like I could live here 1,000 years and never run out of inspiration.
I think there's 2 things. Obviously, there's the visual inspiration. You can't look around you without really seeing some gorgeous piece of nature calling to you in a creative way. And then it also awakens the creative spirit. There's something very magnetic and magical, I think, about Madeline Island specifically that calls to my creative nature.
We got an up-close dose of inspiration and nature on Madeline Island too, watching as 2 deer ate breakfast right by us at Big Bay Town Park. While on the island, a visit to the Travel Green certified Big Bay State Park is also a must. We took a walk to learn more about their unique boardwalk.
It allows us access to the bog that we normally wouldn't have because just too much erosion, too swampy. Very proud of it. It allows access to the beach that we normally wouldn't have also. It cuts down on erosion. Wanted to protect the nature, but also allow people access to our beach and the wildlife area.
You'll find another great park back on the mainland. Frog Bay Tribal National Park was recently developed with assistance from the Wisconsin Coastal Management Program, and it is the first of its kind in the nation.
Getting this property is like returning a part of our history, part of our culture. It's part of our original homelands. We open it up so everybody can enjoy it and know why we have such pride of being here right on Lake Superior.
You can start exploring Frog Bay and all of the great parks here by choosing Lake Superior as your destination at discoverwisconsin.com. Stay tuned. We're sailing the waters above and diving below next. Discover Wisconsin is back, diving deeper into Lake Superior.
Well, Lake Superior is the deepest of all the Great Lakes, a little over 1,300 feet deep. So there are a large number of very deep, intact wrecks on Lake Superior. Diving shipwrecks in Lake Superior is really kind of a phenomenal experience because, you jump off the boat into this cold water, and as you're descending down the anchor line or the mooring line that's tied to the wreck, the light gets a little bit darker and the water gets a little bit colder, and all of a sudden below you, you'll see the shipwreck just kind of appear out of the darkness. It can be a vessel 700 feet long, and it's still sitting there upright on the bottom, and you get to experience that firsthand.
If you'd rather stay a little closer to the surface, the Apostle Islands region is a great area to see shallow wrecks that are in 20 feet of water or less.
If you snorkel, that's a great way to experience them, or there's even a glass bottom boat tour up in that area that you can go out on and see the shipwrecks that way. The shallower wrecks tend to be a little bit more broken up than the deeper wrecks, but even if they're more broken up, there's still a great story that you can tell.
The winds off Lake Superior sometimes seem to tell a story of their own, especially when you're on a sailboat.
These islands obstruct a lot of the heavier conditions that strike the bigger part of the lake. The water is deep. There's very few obstructions in the water to bother you while you boat up here. And you put it all together, and this is a perfect sailing area. One of the nicest probably in the world.
Just south of Bayfield is another protected area of the lake, Shawamigan Bay, which is where you'll also find the city of Ashland. You'll see why Ashland is also known as Lake Superior's hometown when you visit the Waterfront Trail.
The Waterfront Trail in Ashland is over 4 miles long. It's a beautiful trail right along Lake Superior and Shawamigan Bay. You can turn at any time, even through the tunnel and up, where you'll safely cross US Highway 2. It'll bring you downtown to historic Main Street. The Waterfront Trail also will bring you to artesian well water, parks where you can sit on a bench, enjoy, look at the beautiful scenery and view of Lake Superior and Shawamigan Bay.
The bay is also a great spot to cast a line. In fact, it's known as one of the best smallmouth bass fisheries. You can fish right from the breakwall at the Ashland Marina or launch your boat there. The Washburn Marina, which is close to their eclectic downtown area, is Travel Green certified and accommodates over 140 boats on the water.
The Washburn Marina achieved a Clean Marina status, which is a program that's put together by the Wisconsin Sea Grant and Coastal Management Programs, along with the Wisconsin Marina Association. And a Clean Marina designation means that a marina has achieved a very high standard in environmental protection and being conscientious about protecting the waters that we are on.
Houghton Falls, a nearby lake treasure, was recently protected as well, when it was named an official nature preserve. The trail leading visitors to Lake Superior is about 2/3 of a mile each way. Be sure to watch for these rock formations along the way, some of which are over 1 billion years old.
Al, this is just, it like comes out of nowhere. It's so beautiful.
That's kind of what my impression was first time I saw it, and it still is every time I come down here. I just have to stop and realize how beautiful it is.
We continued our trek and made our way to the lake.
And this is Houghton Point.
Wow. I think this is one of the most beautiful spots I have ever seen, and what a view of Lake Superior.
Yeah, it is a very special place. Has been for hundreds of years, and we just hope that when people come visit it and look at it, they treat it with the same respect that we do, because it's so special to the people here and actually to all of us.
That's right, so people can enjoy it for years to come.
There's something about being on the shore of Lake Superior. There's this sense of power, this sense of calm by just sitting on the shore that I just have never felt anyplace else.
Lake Superior has a magnetic quality, and I think it's just the vastness of the water, being the biggest of the Great Lakes. There is a grandeur about Superior, and it's almost a personality.
From the fascinating treasures below to the many activities above, Lake Superior has it all. I'm Emmy Fink, and I'll see you out on the lake.
You know, Wisconsin is filled with so many exciting things to do.
So travel Wisconsin and find out for yourself.
There's a destination just waiting to be discovered by you.
For more information and bonus video from the episode, go to discoverwisconsin.com. While you're there, click on the Cadiddle link to watch entire episodes from this season or past seasons. And don't forget, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Discover Wisconsin Radio all across the state.